Now let's go deeper in this part, into something most people completely overlook. Billionaires don't just use crystals. They assign meaning to them. And meaning is power. Because the human brain does not respond to objects. It responds to associations. When a person links a crystal with confidence, every time they touch it, see it, or even think about it, the brain activates that emotional state. This is called neurological anchoring. And elite performers use this technique everywhere. Not just with crystals. With watches, with clothes, with scents, with spaces. Everything becomes a trigger. Everything becomes intentional. Now imagine this. A billionaire walks into a high-stakes meeting worth millions. On the outside, it looks like pure logic, numbers, and strategy. But internally, they are managing energy. Breath steady, mind calm, emotion controlled, focus razor sharp. If holding a specific crystal helps anchor that state, even slightly, that advantage matters. Because at that level, small edges create massive results. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood crystals. Amethyst. Often associated with calmness, intuition, and mental clarity. Many high performers keep amethyst near their bed or workspace, not for decoration, but because they believe it reduces mental noise. And think about how powerful that is. A quiet mind sees opportunities faster. A calm mind makes better decisions. A clear mind avoids costly mistakes. That alone can change someone's financial trajectory. Now here's where things get even deeper. Some billionaires combine crystals with visualization. This is where energy work becomes extremely intentional. They don't just wish for success. They mentally rehearse it. They sit in silence, hold a crystal, and visualize outcomes with precision. Deals closing, money flowing, recognition growing, freedom expanding. Not casually, but with emotion. Because emotion is what programs the subconscious. And the subconscious influences behavior automatically. Now add a physical object, like a crystal, into that process. Suddenly, the visualization becomes anchored to something tangible. Something repeatable. Something consistent. And consistency is what creates belief. Belief creates action. Action creates results. This is the real mechanism behind what people call manifestation. It's not magic. It's mental conditioning, repeated so many times, that it becomes identity. Now let's expose another layer. Environment control. Many wealthy individuals are extremely selective about what enters their space. Not just people. Energy. They remove chaos. They reduce noise. They eliminate distractions. And they add elements that represent power, clarity, and abundance. Crystals become part of that system. Not as the main tool, but as a supporting element. Because when everything in your environment aligns with your goals, your brain stops resisting success and starts accepting it. Now think about the opposite. A cluttered room, negative conversations, fear-based thinking, doubt, comparison. That environment trains the brain for limitation. And limitation blocks growth. So the real question is not, do crystals work? The real question is, what is your environment training your mind to believe? Because belief silently controls behavior. And behavior creates your life. Now let's talk about something very real, and slightly uncomfortable. Discipline. No crystal, no ritual, no technique, can replace discipline. And billionaires understand this brutally well. They wake up when they don't feel like it. They work when others relax. They decide when others hesitate. They act when others overthink. So when they use crystals, it's not dependency. It's enhancement. Just like a high-performance athlete uses tools to improve performance. The tool is not the success. The person is. Now here's a powerful shift in perspective. Crystals are not about changing the world. They are about changing you. Your focus, your emotions, your consistency, your identity. And once you change, your actions change. Once your actions change, your results follow. This is why two people can hold the same crystal and get completely different outcomes. Because the crystal is not the source. The mind is. And the mind is programmable. Now imagine combining all of this. Clear intention, focused environment, emotional control, consistent action, strong identity, and tools that reinforce all of it. That combination becomes dangerous. Not in a negative way, but powerful. Because now success is no longer random. It becomes predictable. And that's exactly how billionaires think. They don't rely on luck. They engineer outcomes. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself something honestly. If your thoughts create your focus shapes your decisions, and your decisions build your reality. Then what are you feeding your mind daily? Because whether you use crystals or not, you are always programming yourself. Every day, every hour, every moment. And most people are doing it unconsciously. That's the real difference. Billionaires become conscious of their inner world. And once that happens, everything outside begins to shift. So the truth is not that crystals create billionaires. The truth is, billionaires create power within themselves and use everything around them to amplify it. Every object becomes intentional. Every thought becomes directed. Every action becomes aligned. And once a person reaches that level of control, wealth is no longer a dream. It becomes a byproduct. Not of luck, not of chance, but of identity, energy, and relentless execution. The real question is not whether crystals hold power. The real question is, are you ready to take control of yours?